Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Erlin Nuria Fitri with the student number 23020400020. And in this video, I'm going to share a short review of a book I just read for my final assignment. So, what is the book? The book is a classic children's novel called Charlotte's Wife, written by E.B. White. Even though it's book for children, it has deep meaning and beautiful message. Charlotte's Wife was first published in 1952. The author E.B. White also wrote Stuart Little and The Drum of the Swan. But among all his books, Charlotte's Wife is the most popular and emotional one. The story is about a little pig named Wilbur and his friendship with a spider named Charlotte. At the beginning of the story, a young girl named Fern saves Wilbur from being killed just because he was small and weak. She takes care of him until he grows bigger, then moves him to her uncle's farm. At the farm, Wilbur meets Charlotte. At first, Wilbur feels lonely, but then Charlotte becomes his best friend, and she helps him in a very special way that changes his life forever. The book takes place on a farm, and the way the reader describes the setting feels real. That's because E.B. White lived on a farm, so he knew how to describe the sounds, the animals, and the quiet life in the countryside. Okay, let's start about the main themes of the story. First, there's friendship and loyalty. Charlotte is a true friend. She helps Wilbur not for fame for reward, but because she cares, and her love is quiet but strong. Second, the story talks about life and death. This might sound sad, but the author explained it in a soft and honest way. It helps children and even adults understand that life is a natural cycle. Another time is sacrifice. Carol never asks for anything. She uses her time and energy just to save Wilbur. That kind of kindness is what makes the story so powerful. And finally, standing up for what is right. Fern protects Wilbur even though she is just a child. It shows us that a small voice can still make a big difference when it comes from the heart. Now let's talk about the characters. Wilbur the pig is sweet but a little naive at first. The story goes on, he grows not just in size but in emotion. And then Charlotte, the spider, is smart, calm, and kind. Her web is more than just a home, it's her way of expressing love and creativity. And then Fern, the girl, shows us how children can have strong empathy and a sense of justice. Even Templeton, the grumpy rat, has an important role in the story and adds a bit of fun. So, what I like the most about Carol Dweck? I like the most what about Carlotte's wife is how the story feels gentle but meaningful. The language is simple, so it's easy to understand, but the emotions are deep. You can really feel the love, the sadness, and the beauty in the story. Maybe some readers will think the beginning is a bit slow, but for me, it's peaceful. It helps us to get to know the characters better, and that makes the emotional part feel stronger later on. And yeah, this book made me cry, not just because it's sad, but because it's beautiful. Some parts are so touching that I had to stop and just think for a while. Even though this book is more than 70 years old, uh, the message still feels important today. In a busy world, Carol's wife reminds us of the value of kindness, friendship, and caring for others without expecting anything in return. Actually, I really recommended this book not just for kids but for adults too. Whether you read it alone or with someone, it's a story that stays with you long after you finish the last page. Before I end, I want to share the most famous quote from the book. This is the quote. It is not often that someone comes along who is a true friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both. Charlotte was more than a spider. She was a true friend, and her story will live on in the hearts of all who read it. I think that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I did. See you next time, and remember to keep reading and keep feeling. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.